Hi, I'm Fish Krakowski, and this is Nathan Martin. We're
That's me.
here to talk about Episode 3 of The Mandalorian,
Yeah.
The Sin. Nathan,
Yes.
what are some of the things about The Mandalorian that you like sort of widely?
A lot of the stuff that I like about what they've done so far with the show, being we're 3 episodes in now, is I love how I know that we're both Star Wars nerds, but for someone who is not a Star Wars nerd, this show is completely watchable. The show is original enough that it'll touch on things that nerds like us will be like, oh, I know what that's referencing. But someone who you could never have seen a Star Wars movie, this show completely works. It tells so far it's telling a very good story, leaving you with some questions that we may never get answered, we don't know.
Yeah.
But we do know there's a second season, so they're building this out perfectly. And I love how small and intimate the show is so far. What about you?
Oh man. I like what they're not telling us. Like, I think Star Wars traditionally, especially in the last few years, is very much about like having a big reveal and someone's connected to Darth Vader or Saw Gerrera or whatever. Like, they always got to bring someone in. But in this show, we literally have not seen the main character's face. We don't know his name. We don't know the name of Werner Herzog's character.
No.
We know Greef Karga, that's Carl Weathers, and he rules.
Right.
But I mean, other than that, I just really like, and another thing I like about it too is how it's borrowing from Westerns, but it actually gets that fun thing where you're watching your friend play a video game.
Yeah.
So like when he's crawling the Jawa Sandcrawler or whatever, or like that awesome fight directed by Deborah Chow.
Yeah.
In episode 3, like you just want to be in that video game playing it.
Yeah.
But you're also satisfied to watch it. Yeah.
I love that he hates droids. I really love the fact that he just can't stand droids, and
so,
it's like a bane to him. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, that was a neat thing that they, like Lucas, way back when he wrote Star Wars, said, we don't serve their kind in here, in the cantina. And then when the prequels came along, you're like, oh, that's why everybody hates droids, because they killed everybody. And so getting down into the meat of this particular episode, we now see that it was like there's a separatist fight, and there's a super battle droid there, which is so cool. Right?
Yeah,
that was awesome.
It's terrifying, and it reminded me, I'm like, that's the prequel droid. So where, like, and then you're left asking questions. Well, how long ago was that?
Yeah, we unpacked it, and I think it's about 30 years. It's a generation, basically.
Okay, so
right? He's about 40 something.
Okay,
maybe he's like 8 or 10 or something in that point. But that's sort of, again, we're not told 3 years after Death Star 2 blows up or anything like that.
No, we're not told really anything. Like, he flies to and from planets.
Yeah.
He's done the 3 planets we've seen, right? From the first episode to now.
I think so.
We're never told where we are.
Yeah.
This one really establishes that this episode really establishes that there's not a lot of Mandalorians left, and they're clearly in hiding.
Yeah.
Because only one's allowed to go out for any given amount of time.
Yeah.
And they're not. They're ruled by whatever rules that they have, but they're getting a little head buddy, which I kind of like. Is like, we don't know who these people are.
Yeah, they're claustrophobic, and they're kind of in their mom's basement. Like, they're trapped down there. But I mean, it's neat because Favreau clearly appreciates the canon. Like, he's referring to Life Day, and he's got like the disintegrator rifle from the Christmas special and stuff like that. So he's going to respect what the Clone Wars told us about Mandalorians, which is a planet of like billions of people, and they're like these kind of jerky knights or whatever.
Yeah.
But here they're it's like the Empire. It feels like, well, the Empire's fallen, but their Empire has also fallen.
Yeah.
And they're in hiding, and there's none of them left, and they seem to have different rules than they did in the Clone Wars. Because in the old days they'd take their helmets off and stuff, but now they're very much about hiding and surviving, and I really love that. Just a deep dive into that, like the big Mandalorian, Paz Vizsla, he's the guy that's sort of like scuffling with our guy. That was voiced by Jon Favreau, who also did his, well, we don't know, is it his dad, his uncle, or something like that, but pre-Vizsla in the Clone Wars. So we are getting something of a connection between that stuff, but nobody's making a big deal about it. And I really, really love that stuff.
I mean, you'd only know that by looking at the credits. Because he doesn't say his name in it, which I really like. And you never get lost in this series so far. Now, I don't think they're going to make a mistake and screw anything up, but you never get lost. You always know exactly where you are. The only time I thought I got a little like, where is he now? But then I remembered after was when he was surrounded by the 4 stormtroopers and he had the little whistling birds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what room is this? And then I remembered that's just behind the. And my brain had to check.
Yeah,
in.
that's Werner Herzog's office.
Yeah.
And he literally said in the first episode, it's like the stormtrooper's like, we have you 4-1, and Mando goes like, I like those odds. And so there are a lot of beautiful little throwbacks like that where it's very simple. Like, this isn't like you know, indie film making or anything like that, but it still does a good job of telling its own story. Baby Yoda is, of course, everybody in the universe is talking about Baby Yoda right now. He's obviously going to be the Tickle Me Elmo of 2019 Christmas, like once they release that thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that the scientist referred to Baby Yoda as a he, but Mando keeps saying it even after that. So I'm like, you know, does he know something? Like, you know, what's that all about? And I don't know. I just love the whole like lone wolf and cub kind of thing that they're setting up. It's just like, oh my god, like. And I think what's great about that too is it's so universal. Like, you know, when Return of the Jedi came out in 1983, we were like stupid teenagers, and we were kind of annoyed by the Ewoks and cute stuff or whatever. But I mean, you know, now I'm old or whatever, so I'm like, I just love that.
Don't have the jade on you anymore.
But I don't have to act cool. Like, it's like I'm obviously not cool if I'm talking about this on the internet. But anyway, and big huge shout out to Deborah Chow, who
fantastic directed,
great director, and she's hoping to prove her mettle. Obviously, she's directing the Obi-Wan series, all of it. So I mean, looks really good so far. I'm excited about that.
Like that's going to be a lot of fun. We don't know too much about it, but and just to talk on Yoda is like I think the reason why it works is yes, there's a cute factor, but the puppeteering on that thing, because you can tell it's a physical puppet in the world. Like when he brings it to the door, he like as he's traveling down the road, you kind of see him being like, I got a feeling that something is happening here. And when he's looking up at the Mandalorian, he's looking at him, and you're watching this puppet emote, and it doesn't need to cry. Eventually, it does, but it does. You're just sitting there the entire time, like it works, and I think that's why it has. People are like, "Oh my God, Baby Yoda," but it's also like this is a really well done performance.
That's interesting. You bring that up because that. I don't know if he's CGI at some point or whatever, but whoever's puppeting that Yoda is doing a great job. But in the third episode, there was that awesome scene when he looks down and he sees the unscrewed sphere off the gear shift, and he's sort of like looking down to the left, and they just kind of like hone in on his face. Yeah. And I'm like, you're just looking at a mask. Yeah. But it's great. It was somehow great acting. So. I've been wondering if that's actually Pablo in any of those. He has three stunt doubles, like in the credits. So he might not. He might just be in a studio talking. Like,
it could be.
Although who wouldn't want to be with Werner Herzog?
Oh yeah,
acting.
Like we're gonna put you in a room with Werner. It's like, come on, I'm gonna show up for that day.
Yeah. So anyway, anything else to say about this episode? Like.
No. I think I
love the music. Ludwig Göransson. Like I gotta say, like he's got such a nice touch, especially during any fight scene. He sort of seems to be picking like
the shootout at the end.
Yeah. It's just weird. It feels like he's tapping on almost sound effects as his instruments. So
it's like the most non-Star Wars score, but fits perfectly with what this is.
And it really, I've said this in an article as well. I mean, it really. Like the music often kind of feels like Matt Houston or something. Like it's just like 1980s like kind of cheesy music, but it's just like that actually totally fits in with sort of the timeline of Return of the Jedi. So I think he figured out something great there.
It's got a nice balance.
Yeah. So I think that's about it for The Sin.
Yes.
We love it. We want more. We don't know what's coming next. Right?
No idea. Yeah.